Okay, ladies, let's get this started. I am so excited to, first of all, happy May. Holy crap, that kind of crept up on us really, really quick. But happy May. Big things are obviously happening within May and June, launches, summit. I mean, there's so much going on. And so I really am excited for this mastermind to really take place, obviously, today until June 26th. We'll obviously take the 1 week off while we're all at summit, and then we'll just finalize our mastermind that last week. Because of course there'll be tons of goals, excitement, and then we'll just realize, what we want to go from there. So with that being said, obviously today is going to be an actual mastermind. So we will do mastermind, and then the following week we're going to do a hot seat. So Doug does this with his 9 to 15 stars, and I love it. Sorry, it's a little loud in here. We're all on a call. But he does this with his 9 to 15 star diamonds, and I love it. And so basically, as you can see, as what I posted, we will have Superstar Diamond 2, Melissa McAllister, in the hot seat. And basically what she's going to do is obviously tell you a little bit about her story. Obviously, you already all probably know, but she'll tell you a little bit about her story. And then literally it's your opportunity to pick her brain. So yes, she might have a little bit of a topic, but it's really going to be up to you what you want to ask her. I mean, she's been a coach for a very long time. Take the opportunity to really dive in and really be surrounded by an incredible leader. So I'm going to do that every other week, and we'll have some great little surprises that I will pull out of the West and the Central regions. And then from there, obviously you saw our message thread. I will advise if you have any great trainings or badges, please, of course, put them in that. But then also don't forget to upload them to our 5 to 8 Star Diamond Mastermind group, because it's easier to find them that way. Okay, I think housekeeping items are done. Does that all sound good? We'll keep this to exactly 45 minutes at most. Of course, they will be recorded, but your participation is very welcome. As you all know, and thank you, Crystal, I know you're driving, so you don't have to look, but thank you for having your faces on. I know it doesn't matter what you look like. We just love all of you to be able to see your faces and really be able to interact with each other. So that's my housekeeping item, of course. And then I feel like I have gone through them all, but let's kind of just talk about 2B mindset. Like, that's the topic of today, tomorrow, all of May. No, Jamie, you are fine. Don't even worry. Just in the future. But let's talk about 2B mindset since it is launching tomorrow, and we have such a huge opportunity. And as you all know, this will be the topic of conversation for a very long time. So I'm excited to kick it off today. I'm going to have Melissa Brewer, and I did actually ask her before calling her out on this, just to really kick this off because she was in the test group. So Melissa, will you first of all tell us a little bit about being in the test group, what results came from it, and what you're doing to really launch this into your community of people?
Yeah, for sure. So I always feel, you guys know, I talk a lot on these groups. So I always feel like I see all of you guys and I'm always like, oh, but they're so amazing. Like, I'm nobody. So that's how I feel right now. And I'm like nervous because I don't know if what I'm doing is right or wrong or whatever, but it's what I'm doing, and hopefully it will help you guys. So the test group honestly was, so I was in the very first coach group. This was the second test group Alana ran, but the first group was with the people in New York. Ours was the first coach test group. There were about 25 of us, so it was pretty small. And Doug Moss, I think, was in it too. And in our group, there were no videos. There was they were just barely creating some of like the tracker sheets. We were kind of like their guinea pigs in figuring out what order to teach this and all of that fun stuff. And so it was a really interesting learning experience. I was actually just talking with some of the leaders on our team. Micah is my upline, and so Cozy and me and Jaylyn, who you guys know because she just barely left this group, we're all kind of masterminding together and doing a launch group, and we've been doing a sneak peek. And what I learned was different than from like what Micah and Jaylyn learned in the second coach test group, in that in our first meeting with Alana, we learned everything from Alana directly. It was very basic, very simple. And I love that on the National Wake Up Call this week, she talked about, she's like, my biggest goal is to make sure it's super easy to understand. It's super simple principles, and it's something that everyone can do. And that's really what it felt like in my test group. On the first call, she told us the 4 bunnies, and that was it. Like, I didn't know if I could still eat protein. I didn't know if I could still eat like bread. I was so lost and confused. But I just started doing a little bit each day. Like I started drinking a little bit more water. I started following these principles that she has already been teaching on her Instagram for months, you guys, months. And in the first day, I lost 2 pounds. And that was crazy because I'd been stuck at this weight for probably 3 months in my postpartum journey. And so I was like, immediately I was like, okay, this is insane. This works. I need more information. I need to know what I'm doing. I got to figure this out. And as I got more information, it was like, for me, the results were immediate. I was like, in the first week down 5 pounds, in the first month down 15 pounds. And it's now been 5 months and I'm down 20 pounds. And I didn't feel like, for me, my main goal was 20 pounds, but I still feel like I don't really care if I lose weight at this point. I just feel so good. I'm going to keep doing it. I don't feel like restricted at all. I don't feel like yesterday we went and got family pictures, and you guys all know how family pictures is. It's like stress to the max, and we're like bribing our kids. If you are good, you can have ice cream. And you guys, I remember telling Brittany this. I'm like, I had a whole thing of Halo Top last night and I lost 1 pound last night. It was crazy, but I mean, that wasn't last night. But I had a couple of bites of their treat, and this morning I woke up down 1.2 pounds. But it fluctuates for me because I feel like I'm in maintenance mode. Some days I'll be up 1 pound, some days I'll be down 1.5 pounds. Sometimes I'll be up, 0.5. But when you learn the principles from Alana, when you start to understand your body, when you start to understand how you gain or lose or whatever, it's just so freeing because like before, I felt like in the 21-day fix, if I did the program to a T, or if I stuck to my containers to a T, and then all of a sudden I'm up 1 pound at the end of the program, I'm like pissed, And with this, if I go up 1 pound, it's almost like, oh, I know exactly why I'm up 1 pound and it's fine. And I know I'm going to lose 2 pounds tomorrow. Like, it's just such a freeing experience. And I think it's going to change. And I really think the mindset of it is it's going to change the way everyone thinks about weight loss. Instead of freaking out about it, we're going to feel in control, and we're going to feel like we know exactly what we need to do. And that's really what I've been trying to express in my posting and in my sharing. And as I'm talking to people, on the back end and in Messenger and in Instagram, I saw that picture. That was a good face, Britt. Just making sure they know that it's going to look different for everyone. And Alana always stresses this. Some people are going to lose 5 pounds in the first month. Some are going to lose 15. Some are going to, in months 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, going to be losing 10, 20, and 30 pounds. Like, it's going to look different for everyone. And that's the thing we really have to share with the people who join us, is they can't just give up if in the first month they're the only one who hasn't lost 5 or 10 pounds. This is going to be something they do for a long time. And it's not going to be immediate results like the 21-day fix where people are losing 15 pounds in 3 weeks. Maybe that will be the case for them, but most likely in the later months is when they're going to see huge weight loss. Like, I did not expect in month 5 to still be losing weight. That was not like, in my mentality, I was like, this is going to be amazing. I'm going to lose it all in my first month. And I did lose a lot, but I didn't expect that I would feel this good still and this confident still in my weight loss, if that makes any sense.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of coaches that are so pro for it, or so like, this is not my program. This is not my clientele. So let me ask you, for the coach that maybe thinks this is not the program, will you explain why it could be like a true north for them, or, like overcoming those objections?
Yeah. So in our test group, we had a couple of people like that, actually. And it was really surprising. Some people who really rejected the scale, really rejected a lot of the principles, and really struggled to feel like this was something they needed. even though they were struggling with their weight. There's one person I know specifically, and she's talked really openly about it. And it wasn't until she was in probably our 3rd month. So it was after the new year. It was like probably the middle of January where she just decided, like, I'm not following the principles. I'm in this test group. Why am I not following this? I've had an amazing opportunity. She just decided, I'm just going to give it a shot. Just see what happens. I'm not going to push against it anymore. And all of a sudden she was like losing a lot of weight. It was insane. Her name is Jody. I don't know her last name. I can't remember. Jody Jackson, something like that. I don't know. And I just remember how anti she was. It was really an interesting thing. I'm like, why did you accept this test group opportunity if you didn't want to be a part of it? But she really, really rejected it. And then as soon as I think she just embraced it and said, I at least need to learn this. I at least need to try it. What I'm doing isn't working. Then she had really great success. There were other coaches who, even though they accepted and understood and implemented most of the principles, they had a hard time with like 1 or 2 of them. And, it was really working through their mindset and understanding, like, and Alana says, you just have to come with an open mind. And if anything, if it's not for you, because everyone's different, this is a weight loss program. Maybe there are people who don't need to lose weight, but it's a really great way to help other people lose weight. Some people do really well with the containers. I wasn't one of those people, and that was really embarrassing for me. I really struggled with the containers. So this opportunity was awesome for me because it didn't require me to measure anything. It didn't require me to meal prep. It didn't require me to do any of these things that I really struggled with. Some people do really well with that. So just knowing your audience, knowing the people who are coming to you, and at least presenting the opportunity, because everyone deserves the opportunity. There's going to be someone or someone in your social media who's watching you who sees what you're doing. They're like, oh, but like, I'm horrible at that. I'm horrible at meal prepping. I'm horrible at, or I don't believe I can. And so giving them this really freeing option at least gives them the opportunity to feel their best. I saw a question that I wanted to answer too.
All right. About working out.
I personally did work out. I love working out though. So like that's like my sanity. I've been an athlete my whole life. I love working out. It's just, I can't imagine not doing it. But there was one part of my workouts that did change. Before the 2B mindset, I felt obligated to get up at like 5 a.m., to get it in, to get it done, to sacrifice sleep, to make sure I was, number one, like working out hard. And in listening to Alana and really working through like why I felt that way and why that was important to me, I started recognizing like maybe I wasn't losing my baby weight because for one, I was getting up every 2 hours with my baby. So really wasn't sleeping a lot and then sacrificing more sleep when she was sleeping to get up and exercise. So I started sleeping in till 7. That's not like, it's not crazy, right? But that was sleeping in for me. And then when my baby woke up, I'd get up with her and we'd go work out together. And all of a sudden, I think, having that stress of I have to do this, like all the other coaches do it. I have to have that miracle morning or, making it less about the stress of doing it and more about the joy of doing it really changed my mindset in that. There were lots of women in the group who did not exercise or they did what they loved. I felt like as coaches, some of them really struggled with their business because they just stopped posting at all. They didn't post about workouts. They didn't post about anything. They didn't post about anything that they could help people with. And so they were like, well, I'm not hitting SC this month. How are you guys hitting SC when you're doing the 2B mindset and no one knows about it and you can't share about it? And I think it is really important to still tailor to everyone, to still understand some people need workouts, some people don't. That's what's so great about the 2B mindset is they can or they don't have to. They can work out. They can do the dancing programs. They can do They can go to the gym. With Lift 4 coming out in the next couple of months, that's going to be an amazing opportunity because we only have to work out 4 days a week and they can go hiking or biking or swimming or whatever they love. And it would fit really well with the To Be mindset.
Melissa, can I ask you a question off of that?
Yeah.
So I'm the one that asked that question. And I love that you were honest about that because I was doing 80, like Britt knows, I was doing 80-day obsession. I have Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism. And so doing that program, like legit killed my body. So I'm so excited for To Be mindset and like changing, like what you said, a lot of us kill ourselves waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get that in. And, but what I want to know is there a particular program, but you just said like you can do the dance programs or whatever, but is there a particular program that you think would be more beneficial along the side of To Be mindset?
So when Alana recommends, if you do love to work out, or if you choose that, you know, that's something you don't want to give up or you want to do it, she always, in the beginning, like the first couple weeks, she recommends that you start with something that's not going to make you feel starving. Because, you know, like when we're lifting a lot, like super heavy weights, that really gets your metabolism going. So it kind of throws off your hunger levels. So I think that's something you could bring to your challengers or people. Just say like, if you really love working out for the first couple weeks, try 21 Day Fix or try yoga or try something that's really going to help you feel balanced and not like pushing your body to the extreme. But I honestly think any program works with this. I did 80-day obsession, but here's the thing. Some days I didn't wake up early enough to do the full hour. So I did the first round and it was fine and it was great. And I still got amazing results. Like, I just think you have to listen to your body. You have to listen to what your body needs. And that's what To Be mindset does. It's very intuitive. It helps you really focus on the most important things in your life and in your mindset and in your health and fitness and everything. So
will you answer this question from Christine? And because I think this is a huge one about the scale.
Yeah. I was worried about that when I saw Autumn like telling people, don't even step on the scale, get off the scale. Here's what's really cool about the scale. And Alana talks a lot about it. So I really don't think I need to go into a lot of detail because tomorrow you guys are going to get, it's like literally on day 2. If you've looked at the challenge group guide, the scale becomes a tool. It's not, you don't feel attached to it. You don't feel like I have to get on again. She even says, you know, if you have this, and I don't know what the word she uses, but like an issue that you've had with the scale in the past, just go on every other day or go on twice a week. It is more a tool to say, okay, what I ate last night, that's probably not the best weight loss meal for me. You know, I figured out by using the scale every single day, when I have a certain meal, I always lose weight the next day. And I know Brittany probably found that out too, but it's just really insane. Like, I know that sounds kind of ridiculous, but it's true. And I remember Alana teaching us, like, if you have this, this, or this, you're probably going to have a weight loss day the next day. And I was like, well, heck, I want to freaking lose weight the next day. So I would try those meals and it really did work. And so for me, I was like, okay, that's going to be my dinner 3 times a week. And the other one's going to be my other dinner. And it's just, when you step on that scale, that is like the best reward ever. It helps you to see like, okay, so I had a sweet potato last night and I went up 0.2. I probably should have substituted that for spaghetti squash or for something else that maybe isn't as high in carbohydrates and it's more filled with fiber and whatever. It's just, it becomes more of a tool and it becomes more of like just a daily habit, like going to the bathroom or brushing your teeth or whatever. It's not anything where you're like, oh my gosh, the scale went up 0.5, like I'm failing myself. It's more, the scale went up 0.5. What did I have yesterday? Let me look at my tracker. I probably shouldn't have had those 5 Hershey Kisses, and I probably shouldn't have eaten that entire thing of Halo Top. Today is going to be a weight loss day, and I'm going to be down 2 pounds tomorrow. You know, like, it just becomes more of like a process of thinking about what you want and how you feel, and not, I can't believe the scale went up. you're going to see the scale go down a lot, and it's going to be really exciting, and it's going to just make you that much more excited. But I'd only recommend, and I think Alana talks about this in her videos, only go on once a day. Like, that's all you need. And some people I think when we become obsessive is when we're like, I'm going to get on the scale in the morning. I'm going to work out. I'm going to get on the scale again. I'm going to shower, and then I'm going to get on the scale. It's like, only get on once. It's a measurement. That's it. And then the next day you can see where you're at again.
Thank you so much for addressing that one. It's like the number one question. We do have Mickey Fernandez going live in the Beachbody Champs page about, like, that was when I was talking to her. She's like, that's what I want to address because it's the number one thing that people are really scared about. Yes, on Friday. So she's going live about it. But you answered that beautifully. So thank you so much. I know Crystal mentioned something, and Jamie mentioned something about eating disorders. And I would just say this, where your people are at. If you have somebody brand new that addresses it and wants to get involved, obviously it'd be just like with any workout program, it'd be wise for them to consult a doctor first, but where your people are at. So kind of figure out, obviously if it is a best practice for you to take them on, or if it's somebody that you're not sure, maybe advise that first. So I like those questions though. And yes, perfect for runners and CrossFitters lovers too. Erin, thank you for saying that. I want to ask you, Melissa. So I've asked you, thank you so much for speaking. First of all, totally asked you last minute.
It's okay.
But I knew you would deliver because I have seen your progression photos. If you haven't checked out her like befores, middles, afters, hot dang, girl, first of all. And second of all, though, I want to know, what are you doing to launch this? Like, what are you going to do? I mean, obviously it's tomorrow, but what are you doing prep work? What could coaches do now if they've just kind of blown off the program? But what are you doing to really capitalize on this?
I have really been trying to for me, I think it's a little different because I've had access to the program. I've had the results. I've been able to just kind of share it. People have been watching me do it. But my team hasn't. So I've really been helping them capitalize on using, I think, the results of any of the test group participants and getting really vulnerable, because I think we all have had moments in our life or situations in our life where we've had some kind of a relationship with food, whether it was positive or negative. And for me, like, it started at a really young age, and just reflecting, take a few minutes and reflect back on your life and the different stages of your life and where you have, had experiences with food. Like, I used to hide in the closet when I was a kid and eat candy bars. I'm not even kidding, because I was embarrassed that my parents would catch me or they'd tell me I couldn't. And it was an emotional thing. Like, I was bigger, and that was really a challenge for me. But as I was going through this process of the 2B mindset and like writing down and thinking about the things that trigger me or that I struggle with or whatever it is, and then opening up and sharing that, and then just asking people, just let them talk to you. You share your story and then let them talk to you, and just let them know that they're not, like, a lot of people are ashamed of it. A lot of people feel a lot of shame connected to emotional eating or binging. Or if you guys have listened to, it's a really popular book in the Beachbody world right now, but it's Girl Wash Your Face. She talks about this herself. Like, everyone goes through a time in their life when eating is almost like we're torturing ourselves. We're like, we don't deserve or feel like we deserve to be happy or to feel sexy or to feel like confident in our own skin. And when you share that, people, I think, will feel more open to coming to you. It's when we get really like by the book and just like say, here's these transformations. Like, do you want to join me? Like, no, you have to really open up. You have to really get vulnerable and share your story and allow for people to come to you, give them the opportunity to come to you, whether that's in your story and you just do a poll and just say, is this something you struggle with too? And then have that back end conversation. We put together like a sneak peek or like a launch group of what the 2B mindset is. And there's tons and tons of resources in the roundtable. There's tons of like, I'm happy to give you some, but there were lots of files and things shared where I just took some of those things and I decided, we as leaders kind of thought, what would be most beneficial for the people in this group to hear, and just sharing. And we even had like, you know, some coaches talking about like their struggles. And I think it just really opened up the conversation. And then as more information has been released, they're then getting emotional. They're watching the video, and, you know, I'm getting messages saying like, oh my gosh, I'm crying right now. Like, I can't believe this is something that is going to like change my life. And then me telling them like, I cried too. Like, this is something that I felt the exact same way when I found out about it. And just being relatable, you know, like helping them see they're not, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, I struggled with my weight and I was overweight. It can be people who struggle with eating, like just getting in meals. There's lots of different, there's a whole spectrum of people who struggle with their nutrition. And it doesn't necessarily just mean people who are overweight. It could be people who are underweight or people who don't like to eat. You know, and that was really something in our test group. There were people, and I cannot relate to this at all, but people who were saying, I'm not even hungry till 1 p.m. And I'm like, who are you? I wish that was my life, but I'm like starving at 8 a.m. Sorry. And she hates the word starving. So I feel bad that I just used that word. But just knowing that there's going to be a whole spectrum of people that are going to really benefit from this, and sharing that on your launch group, or if you don't have a launch group, that's okay. You can still start one. And as it launches, obviously you start doing the program and just sharing your experience with it, your team starting the program, and them, you know, gathering all of their thoughts and feelings, and just create these stories and help people see that it's for everyone. And you know, and then add them to your sneak peek, or just talk to them on the back end. And there's a video that just like, it's the sizzle. Just use the sizzle video. A lot of people who have told me they're interested, I send them a message that just says, I'm really, really excited for you to look into this video. And it's just a link to the sizzle video, really explains what it is. And if you want more information, I have a group that I've compiled it all together, so I don't have to send you a million links, you know, and I'll just say, if you want to, just click on this link and request to join, and then you'll have everything you need. It has all of the information about the program. It has all of the costs. Like, we don't hide the cost. We talk to them about the benefits of being in this group with Alana. A sizzle is just like the preview video. It's not, that's just what they call them. I don't know. I learned that term in this group, honestly, in this test group, because Alana always is like, did you guys watch the sizzle? Or have you been sharing the sizzle? I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So that's what it is. Yeah. But just giving them access to the information without overwhelming them and letting them go through it. I think we had like maybe 6 or 7 posts is all that just had all this information, some videos. We actually posted like the Meet Alana video as well, so they could get to know her and her story. We posted the call that she did with our team. And I think them having all that information, they watch one video and they're like in tears, and then they come back to you and say, okay, how do I sign up?
Question. Are you signing are you signing all of them as coaches so they can be in that exclusive test group with Alana, so they can really get to know her and be part of it?
I highly recommend doing that. I think it's a good idea. Personally, I struggle with this because I hate discount coaches so much, like with a passion. I don't hate them. I just hate having to like feel like I have to replace them. But every single person that I have been talking to about coaching who's like been on the fence, I just tell them this is a no-brainer situation. Like, if you've been thinking at all about coaching, you need to be in this group, because Alana is going to be working really closely with all the coaches and discount coaches who have been, you know, wanting to start this program, and you're going to get really good access to her. And people are going to start asking you, even if you're posting or not posting, you know, they're going to see you. People in your life are going to see you, and they're going to be like, can you tell me what you're doing? And that's just an easy way to just share and get them started on what you're doing already, you know, without having to even post on social media. So I personally am really just only presenting that opportunity to people I've been talking with about coaching, but I know there's people in my test group who are having everyone do that, and that's great too. So it's just your own personal decision, I think. Oh, that's so cool, Christy. See, and that's the thing. It could be like you really grow closer and then they have an opportunity to really jump, maybe even out of the discount realm and be a huge part of your team. So.
Erin, did you have a question? I see you've unmuted yourself a couple times.
I was just going to say, I did kind of what Christy said, like the 80-day obsession. I had people sign up as discount coaches and people came to them. What are you doing? What are you doing? And those are the people who hit Success Club in January, February, and March. Like, those are my new coaches that are like, they're like, this is fun. And
yeah.
So I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I had a lot of those too. And people who were like, I really am going to be committed to this for the long term and I want to get the discount on Shakeology. And so I had them also sign up as a discount coach and be in that group. And even like this month, because they've seen my journey and they're like seeing the 2B mindset all over the place, they have started talking about it and they're like not even actively coaching. And like, I already have a girl who's signed up like 3 new challengers and she's not even working the business. It's just people who are coming to her. So I think you're exactly right, Erin. Like, it's such a great opportunity for people who have never even thought about coaching to just be natural coaches. Because isn't that why a lot of us became coaches? We got results with a program and then our family and friends started asking us, what are you doing? You're like, well, I'm a coach. And we're able to help them just on what they see us doing.
I love that. Thank you. Okay, this is your opportunity, ladies. If you want to unmute, Melissa was also in the test group. You were in the second test group, correct?
Yeah.
Just trying to remember.
I think we were in the same group. Oh, were you in the second?
No, I was in the second.
Okay. So Melissa, was there anybody else that was in the test groups? Test group? Okay. Cool. Z. Where'd you go? You're on my screen. Okay. And Z went through it while being pregnant. And like, that's a number one question. So will you kind of address that, please?
Yeah. So I was in the last one that she did. I'm assuming that's the second one, or third one. Okay. So that's the third one. And at first she added us and it was kind of like weird because we are pregnant. And I will say, like, I want to just kind of mention the scale because the day that she talked about that is when people definitely did like freak out a little bit. But one thing I did, because I think Christine, maybe you were asking about like, how are we going to go back and change this? Like what we've been talking about forever. You guys, 1.5 years ago, I did a very like public video on Facebook of me trashing my scale. So I totally felt like this big liar. I was like, how am I going to change this? But I actually ended up changing it in my challenge groups right away without mentioning 2B mindset, because one of the biggest struggles as a coach is when you've helped someone all month or 2 months and then they don't know what they weigh, and then they do check their weight like after 1 or 2 challenge groups and they haven't lost, and you're like, oh my God, I feel so defeated for you, and they're defeated, and that's when a lot of times they do quit. Where I think that if I had known earlier, maybe we could have made a change. Maybe something was off, right? Like not working for you. So in my 21-day challenge groups, like or just all of them actually, I was like, you know what? We actually are going to start weighing in. We only did it weekly because I didn't want to like totally make it 2B mindset, but I thought we're going to weigh in weekly. And that way we can just reassess. And it was received very well. And I was just really honest about, hey guys, like I've had people that have done so well in the program and not lose weight. So I just want to get ahead of it. And I don't want you to put 3 weeks into my groups or 6 weeks or 8 weeks or whatever that is, and then not see results. And I know I'm the one that's told you guys, like literally we're like, we're dusting off the scale from when you told us to hide it 1 year ago, like some of my coaches and some of my challengers. But you have to tell your people to trust you. Like, I think that's really what it comes down to. And if you've been honest in your journey throughout, there's no reason that they're not going to continue to trust you as we change our, view on this. Because I learned so much from Alana. So being pregnant, though, I joined the group. I followed it for 2 days. I did get on the scale and I had a heart attack because I've had 2 miscarriages and all of a sudden the weight was like falling off and I'm pregnant. And I was like, I was one of the ones that messaged Alana right away. And I was like, I'm losing weight. This is not good. Like, what are we doing wrong? Because I was trying to do 2B mindset, but like overeat, right? And I still lost weight. So she pulled us out of the group. I mean, we still got to be a fly on the wall to watch the test group, but she created a separate group. I think there was like 20 of us in there that were all pregnant. And I just saw on her IG stories, which I'm so excited about because I wasn't sure we were going to release this. She just said that she is going to release updated guidelines for pregnant women. Is that true? I saw she posted it. Yeah, I'm really excited to hear that, because when we did our little mini test group for pregnant women, she wasn't sure if Beachbody would do that. And so she just coached us one-on-one of how to have a healthy pregnancy. She's pregnant herself. And I mean, everything that Melissa said, you guys, like, it really is freeing. The pregnancy guidelines, like, it's still to be mindset, but we definitely altered some of the principles because they really, you have to, you know? But pregnancy, like, this is my first full pregnancy. It can be very confusing being a Beachbody coach, because you do want to do everything. You do want to be like that champion who doesn't back down from a challenge, even if you're pregnant. You don't want to put on a crazy amount of weight, but you don't want to lose. Like, it's a very weird place, especially I feel like a first pregnancy, because you have no idea how your body is going to react. And I really feel like this pregnancy has been very healthy for me because I was lucky enough to be in that group. So I can't wait till those actually come out, and I'm hoping we actually do have the ability to say, like, this is approved for pregnant women, because that'll be incredible.
I think if she went live about it, I think
she did it in her stories.
Okay.
I like screenshotted it. I was like, oh my gosh. By the way, if you guys aren't following her on IG, you have to, because she posts so much stuff on there. It's amazing. You just watch her stories. Like, every day I have to watch them because I'm just so addicted to everything she says.
For sure. Thank you so much. Great insight, especially, I mean, as the tens of this business, you know, we either, people that get pregnant, when they get pregnant, either they do awesome. Okay, let's be honest. 90% of the time they fall off if they're, you know, just kind of teetering in it, or they can really capitalize. So this is a great program to capitalize with it. So thank you, Z. I know we'll probably have a lot of questions for you once we start getting more pregnant women and like how to go about this, but thank you for sharing that as well. Melissa G wanted to share.
Yeah, so I just wanted to give you guys a couple insights. So most of you guys know I've shared pretty openly, I'm sober, and I didn't realize the like attachment to food I had created as a replacing alcohol. Like, I wasn't drinking, so I was eating my feelings. And so, hold on, sis. Okay, go. If you have people who are in recovery, I mean, that might be something that is a big aha moment for them, because I didn't realize I was using food as a crutch. And I had after shift shop, which I felt like my saving grace last year when right after I got sober. And then I had a lot of heavy stuff going on. So I was using food as that crutch, and then the holidays came and it just kind of came. So that was one of my big aha moments, and you might discover that with people. Number two is I have rheumatoid arthritis where my right arm does not fully extend. And so part of me being, you know, asked to be in the test group was because I wasn't going to fully do ADD Obsession. Guys, I did all of ADD Obsession. I just followed 2B Mindset, and I still lost 10 pounds. And I have never in my entire 2 years, almost 3 years that I've been diagnosed with arthritis, have I not had the pain. I don't. My arm still has permanent damage, but literally I feel so good. Okay, and then my third thing I want to add in is when we went to Riviera Maya, I was not perfect. I did not go and follow. I mean, I had my water, I had my veggies, but I'm being honest, I probably ate a half a dozen donuts by myself because they were so freaking good in that little cafe. And when I came home, I was at the Hard Rock and they didn't have a scale. I didn't go to the gym. I worked out every morning. But I was on vacation. It was the first time my kids ever went. We ordered room service. Like, I was up 3 pounds when I got home. I did not, for the first time, stress. I didn't feel guilt. I wasn't like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I didn't feel bloated and hungover. I was like, okay, I gained 3 pounds. Guess what? In 2 days, it was gone. Like, it was gone. And I didn't even worry about it. And that is like the freedom that we're gaining with this. People just don't understand. I was talking with a woman last night she's a bodybuilder. And she does physique competitions, and she's like, I just think I always have to have structure. And I was like, girlfriend, trust me. Like, trust me. Because in the beginning of 2B Mindset, I was like, oh, I can have this, I can have that. It took a little bit to get my head around it. It did. And now that I have it, like, I didn't sign up to have a six pack. Like, that's just never been my goal. But I feel like I finally have freedom in a way that I've never had. And I finally feel like I felt so comfortable and confident in my bathing suits and like happy, and like I didn't stress out, and that's so huge because normally I'm on that trip. Last year I went on that trip and it was my first year sober, but I was like stuffing food and having all these non-alcoholic drinks to like replace that anxiousness, and I was like fine with my bottle of water. It didn't matter to me. Like, I feel like beyond just the healthy relationship it's going to help us with the food and the scale, like it really is a mindset program. So like Brittany said, like and Melissa said, there's going to be people who might not even think that they have weight to lose, but they need that mindset shift. And they don't even realize they're going to get it. And it's hard to really explain that to people until they just trust you.
Love that. Thank you so much for that input. So I want to ask you ladies now. So you obviously heard from the three that were in the test group. Is there anything that all of you ladies are doing that has helped promote it? Anything that you would like to share, a best practice? Love to hear from any one of you. No? None of you are doing it. You're just like, you know what?
I'll share.
Thank you.
I've been using polls on my Insta stories, so nothing new, but polls have been really successful because I feel like a lot of people don't want to reach out, but polls is an easy, quiet way to tell somebody that you're interested. So polls have been successful for me.
Perfect. Thank you. Anybody else want to share?
I will real quick. I wasn't going to do it because I'm like, okay, you know, I love that Beachbody just releases program after program. That's what they do, and that's why we're good. But I had such an emotional, like I could cry. I had such an emotional journey with 80 Day Obsession that I was like, it got me through all this crap that I'm like, you know, then we literally stopped, and then it's like we go away and we come back. But watching the people in the test group and watching I was like, okay, I'll learn about it, and then I'll share it with people, and I'll be their coach. You know, I'm not going to not know anything, but reading the testimonies, like what people, like you said, it's all your mind, and just feeling the emotions in these posts, I was like, okay, how can I not do this? So I was like, yeah, that looks cute. You know, that a lot is really pretty. And that was about, so I want to thank you guys because it's because of you and because I went psycho crazy and put together a group for my team, and, you know, all the content and the roundtable is amazing. Like, you guys are the bomb for sharing that. So that's all I was going to say. So now I'm super excited, and like I literally think I'm manic right now. I told my team that. I'm like, just bear with me and we'll get through this phase. So thank you guys for that. I really appreciate, because you are why I'm doing it.
You're right, Christine. One thing I want to add, and then just a couple more housekeeping items on it, is just a reminder. I mean, this is, you know, the coaches I've talked to that were in the test group that, you know, are diehard worker outers. I mean, what they've realized is this is kind of their true north, their, you know, their lifestyle. But if they want to dip into, say, Lift 4 when it comes out and do that program, do the maintenance or do the meal plan, they're going to do it, but then they can know, you know, this is their true lifestyle. So you kind of, I would say, highly suggest learn both. I obviously was in the test group, hated the scale. And now, same thing, I went to the DR and I drank a lot of rum and I ate my little face off. And yes, I was up 4 pounds, lost it all within, you know, 3 to 4 days, feel great again. And I don't fear the scale anymore, which is something that you know, and you'll start to realize that on the days you work out, heavy weights, it's going to go up. And the days you don't, it goes down. And so you'll start to really, truly understand your body, which I really think is so incredibly important. So, you know, find your niche of people. If they're like me, that literally, you know, maintenance mode, kind of go back and forth between 5 pounds, whatever, awesome. If you're more like, you know what, I want to help people lose 10 to 50 to 100 pounds, awesome. Like, find your niche in it and roll with it. Okay, but I would highly say don't dismiss this one because it's such a huge opportunity to help so many more people, but then also truly figure out what works for you. So that's my little preach on it. I will say this. Anybody else want to add something real quick?
I wanted to add something really quick, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but when I was in the test group, some of us looked up Alana's what she charges people in her private practice. So if you ever want to like really help people see the value that they're getting, it's almost insane. Like, we're basically stealing it from her. But she charges people almost $300 an hour to come and work with her. And she's teaching them exactly what the 2B mindset is, like exactly. And when you help people see, like, you know what, you're getting so much more than $160 or $200 package. You're getting what some people will pay thousands of dollars a month for working with Alana closely. Those office hours with her, that is what you're getting. You're getting those $300 an hour one-on-one meetings with her. She's going to be specifically answering your questions. And you guys, she really does. Like, I know some people will think like, oh, I'll post a question and it will get forgotten. That's not Alana. Like, she literally will like write down every question from the test group and she addresses it in her live videos. And it's amazing how it's almost like she's just talking directly to you. So I highly recommend, like, if you have someone who really, really struggles with their weight, you have to get them in that test group, because that is going to just completely change everything for them. And the value it's unreal.
Thank you so much for sharing that. Vic, go ahead, hon.
So I wanted to share a little bit about how I'm capitalizing on it, because you were asking a few people and I raised my hand like a little kid. But anyways, so like I said, I struggle with autoimmune disease. And one thing, like Melissa said, like, you have to be real, you have to be vulnerable and share your story. And I've always shared my struggles with nutrition. Like, I look at a flour tortilla and I gain freaking 5 pounds. Okay, I'm not even kidding. But like, I've always shared my struggles with nutrition. And so I attract a lot of people that struggle with emotional eating, binge eating, autoimmune disease, where they have flare-ups and all this stuff. And so sharing on my stories, I share, I've shared Melissa's pictures like every other day since she's posted them. But like all the other girls in the round table, I've been sharing, but I also incorporate my stories and my struggles, and so I am so excited for my life to officially change for the good. Because no longer does nutrition have to be a worry for me. No longer does stepping on the scale and worrying about gaining 5 pounds because I look at a freaking taco, and we had that pre-launch group too, and how I've just been like literally copying, pasting from Alana's page or the round table in there. And then yesterday we did this big thing of, do you want to buy the base package, this package, or do you want to be in the test group and be a coach with this package, and this package? We have like 74 people in this group. We only had 2 people say that they don't want to be a coach and just get the base package. Everyone else is like, I want to be a part of that. I want the VIP support from Alana. And so it's been huge. And I've been sharing with my team, like, be raw. Like, don't be afraid to show up. Even if you're a brand new coach, don't be afraid to show up with your insecurities about what you struggle with the most, because chances are the people that follow you have the same exact struggles, and people need to know that they're not alone.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much. Okay, ladies, you have, so that thing that I said about 40 to 45 minutes, we're going to say 50 minutes. Okay, I'm going to give Melissa McAllister 50 minutes next week too. There's a lot of Melissas going on here. I love it. Okay, there's one thing though, just to let you know, obviously, and this was going in our thread, so 12 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, it goes live. Keep in mind it is a tab, okay? But I just got this email and I just want to make sure that you guys are all aware of this. Okay, so... Okay, never mind. Retracting that. But just know that it's a nutrition tab on Beachbody On Demand. And so just look obviously for that tab. But we literally have everything on the Beachbody Champs page all week long. Like Kevin, wave Kevin. There you go. Is going live on Wednesday to really break it down. Obviously, it does launch on Tuesday, but it is going to be our entire topic of discussion on the Beachbody Champs page. So please have your coaches tune into that. Just a reminder, if you are adding your coaches into this, into the Beachbody Champs page, please do not, and I only say that because they need a coach ID to access it now. So if they do not if they don't put in a coach ID, we have to decline them. But make it in your onboarding process where they go and find the page and then they put in their coach ID. Yeah, no, you're good, Z. She messaged me. She's like, we're waiting like 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, goodness, I should have told you because I knew that was your process. I'm so sorry. So no worries at all. But thank you, ladies, for jumping on our first one. I hope that this was helpful with 2B. All of you others that didn't speak up, I hope you got your questions answered. If you did not, please reach out. We are definitely here for you. I appreciate you. I'm excited to spend the next 8 weeks with you. And I'm excited to really kick off this hot seat next week with Superstar Diamond 2, Melissa McAllister. So come ready, come prepared to ask her questions and really to have fun. This is what it's all about. All right, ladies? Thank you for your time. Have a great morning. Bye.